And what we're going to do is, again, this is meant to be a platform for you to ask questions to these ladies as far as what works for them. And what I'll do, as opposed to butchering their own introductions myself, because I'm not very good at that, is I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves, who it is that they work for and where they are, you know, if there's more than one facility, how many facilities they have, and then to kind of spice things up a little bit, they have to answer who their favorite Kardashian is. Okay, Tara, you can go first.
Thank you. So I work for Quintessa, medical spas, aesthetic centers, either way. And pretty much everything that Alex described not to do. A couple plastic surgeons, and we keep expanding. So not a franchise, but an individually owned by a surgeon facility. We have 3 locations right now, and with the prospect of having, 5 in a year and another 10 in 2 years. So I'm the VP of sales. Also own a research company with him, which go check out Viviscal because it's really awesome. And as far as my favorite Kardashian,
Yeah,
Khloe.
good choice.
But Jenner-wise, Kendall.
So let me ask you this though. If, based upon your experience, what, if you could say just one thing that you guys have done to get to kind of where you are, what has it been, and like the one kind of pearl of wisdom that you could give these folks, what would it be for expanding and growing and being successful in lots of things?
Expanding, I think market research is different than demographic research. So I think we made one, and I don't want to call it a mistake yet, because we ended up filling the void with a body plastic surgeon. We thought we'd have this great spa in this place that has, in Wisconsin, it's kind of on the lakes, it's a ton of money, like all those kind of demographics seem to line up. And if I could go back, or if we could go back and do it again, I'd say have someone call, pick up the phone and call all the spas in the area and see how far are they booked out, how is there a demand? Because I think that's a huge mistake people make, is they just go hire somebody to go see how much money these people make, like are they into Botox, are they into fillers? But I think pick up the phone and call. If everybody's booked out 3 months, then there's a demand. If everybody's open for tomorrow, you don't need to go there.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Donna Fay, who works for Dr. Stephen Perlman here in New York, and he's a great plastic surgeon who I've seen a bunch of times at the various plastic surgery meetings. If you could also just kind of give a brief introduction of yourself and your practice and your favorite Kardashian.
I don't know who they are, I'm 45. No, so I work with Dr. Stephen Perlman, MD Face, and also MD Face and Body Med Spa. So we're a single practice who's double board certified facial plastic surgeon and tape. We recently are expanding into the spa services because maybe of the Kardashians. Our injectables and non-surgical procedures are growing very rapidly because the younger generation want to, with all the social media, follow the superstars and the people they idolize, which in return helps our industry, and that's why it's growing. So we recently had to hire more staff, nurse injectors, and as far as growing and stuff like that, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? If you are in the right location and you have a good reputation and you have good reviews and the right staff, I emphasize the right staff, and you come to meetings like this and you get educated to go back and teach your staff, then you'll have a successful practice.
And Sophia, welcome.
Yes, better late than never.
That's all right. What we're doing is just, if you could just take a second, introduce yourself, your practice, where you are, and then just kind of one thing, the one pearl of wisdom you could give these folks for increasing revenue, eliminating efficiencies. What's kind of the one thing you would think that you can offer as a piece of advice?
Certainly. My name is Sophia Rapkin, and I'm a managing director of a Medi-Spa in New Jersey, Bergen County, Aesthetic MD. We have launched under that brand about 4 years ago and have been successful integrating in that community, which is a rather affluent community, what I can suggest is partnering with a vendor, whether it is a cosmeceutical company, is really important in positioning yourself to differentiate yourself from your competition and to and they can really help you cut costs in launching various endeavors that are patient-oriented and will work with you, very enthusiastic.
So I actually want to follow up with you. Could you, like, in your experience, based upon, failures and mistakes, what's the biggest inefficiency that you see for each of you in your facility, that you've seen in other facilities that you think can be corrected? And Sophia, let's start with you. Just
I think in redundancy in some treatments. There can be certain things that are not necessarily a good thing to offer, but may just sound good because it's in mode. So I would really look at your offering of different treatments and procedures and see what is your cost benefit, and does it really make sense to offer a particular treatment? Are you really better off, or could you streamline and offer something that has a better profit margin and better return and outcome for patients?
okay, Tara?
No, totally agree. So I think too many times people focus on what's down. So why aren't we doing more facials? Why aren't we doing more dermaplane? How much money does that make you? So I think you should look at how much profit you're making and your volume and focus on what you're doing a ton of and raise the prices a little bit. And then maybe drop off the stuff that's just linked, like you said, if it's trendy, okay, then that trend's gonna end. And when that trend ends, it's gonna be on this end of the spectrum, and then drop it. Don't focus on making it better. That's
Okay.
my point, yeah.
Don, anything you can think of as far as what inefficiencies that people could eliminate based upon mistakes that you guys have made? Or?
Our challenge has been the staff.
Yep.
Finding the right people. When it comes to, with all due respect with doctors, a lot of them are just doctors. They're not businessmen. So the patient care coordinator, the manager, has to understand the schedule. Where to put a certain patient, whether it's a new patient, a post-op, an injectable. Time is money. Where you lose time, it can really affect the revenue at the end of the day. The staff, like Brian was saying yesterday, if 3 of your staff members are at least not on, they have to be on the same page for branding. So if you have 3 girls that are sitting at your front desk and they're answering the phone and the 3 of them are saying, different things regarding the same product or procedure, you have problems. So I'm constantly having to try to educate them, listen to the phone calls. I find that doctors hinder themselves when they hire the front desk. Their mentality is, they're just answering the phones, they're checking people in and out. Let's hire someone who's $15 or $20 an hour who, does not speak well or has much education, because they feel they can cut costs there, but they're really losing in the long run. So to me, I agree with both of you, absolutely, but the staff, it can be extremely challenging.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think the front desk is going to either make or break your practice. And if they don't have the language, and if they don't know what is it that you're offering and can't communicate with, a potential patient,
Well, think about conversion when we were talking earlier about if they say, so do you want to book an appointment? No? No. So how does next Tuesday look for you? That's huge. That could be 50% more revenue.
So just a quick follow-up from that, and I'd love to hear from people who had this experience too. Well, how do you, we've talked about this quite a bit with Brian, how do you find those men or women who can do that? I mean, one trend that I've seen is people going to Nordstrom, Saks Fifth Avenue, and plucking, women off the floor and turning them into their they're coordinators of the front desk. How do you hire front desk? If it's the most important position, what's the best way to go find and train people?
It's challenging. It's challenging. It could be different resources, hospitality industry, word of mouth, and actually going out and looking. I found that actually traditional advertising does not really yield to me the type of candidates that I would want to see in the practice. So it's actually going to the resources that you work with and saying, this is, I'm looking for, and these are the qualifications. Do you know someone? But it is challenging. It is challenging, and once you find the right person, you really want to make sure that they're happy.
So for us, we have a couple of people from our practice here, and they can speak to this probably better than I can, but it's a process. So we don't want to not waste our time, but there's going to be a zillion applicants. Everybody wants to work in this field. Everybody knows they're going to get free Botox, free filler. So you have to weed them out, and instead you got to weed them in. So we have them go through, I don't care if you're somebody's sister or cousin that's going to apply, go to the website and follow the directions. And then you're going to call a number, and you're going through all these obstacles in the hiring process that there's tiny little details that are in there. And if they follow those and you get to the end of the road, then we'll bring a group of people in for a company presentation, and then we'll go from there. But we don't want to do more work having to find those people.
Mhm.